If you're looking for some creative and fun ideas to decorate your tier trays for the upcoming Easter season, you've come to the right place. In today's video, I'll show you 6 different DIYs that you can easily recreate at home. So grab your crafting supplies and let's get started. I recreated an adorable bunny bait bucket using a metal bucket from my stash. I am so excited to share my process with you and help you create your own charming decor. Using a baby wipe and some alcohol, I made sure there was no dirt or residue on the metal bucket. Using vinyl, I cut out the design and attached it to the bucket. Now it's time to focus on the bunny itself. For the bunny's butt, I used a fluffy bunny tail from Dollar Tree. I cut the bunny feet out of some felt and painted the toes with a pink paint marker. I clipped the bunny's butt onto the bucket and hot glued the feet in position. To add the finishing touch, I added some Spanish moss and 3 little carrots to the bucket. But wait, I'm not quite done yet. As I stepped back to admire the work, I realized that the bunny is missing something crucial: ears. With the same felt I used for the feet, I cut out a couple of bunny ears and attached them to the bunny with hot glue. And there you have it. Our bunny bait bucket is complete and it's so stinking cute. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and feel confident in creating your very own bunny bait bucket. Thanks for watching and happy crafting. I reused this Christmas sign to recreate another amazing tier tray decor piece. I used some half beads from my stash to create the frame on the back of the sign. I wanted the beads spaced out as evenly as I could get them. So to do this, I placed a bead in the center and then beads at the ends before filling in the rest of the side. I hope that makes sense. It may be easier for you to see what I did than for me to explain it. I did this on all 4 sides of the box. I then added 2 coats of white chalk paint. And guys, you may not, or maybe you will, believe what happened next. After cutting the vinyl out for the sign, I went to turn my camera back on and didn't realize it was pointing to the ceiling instead of my workbench. So for the entire time that I applied the vinyl and created the little bow for the top, this is what was recording. I did flip the camera around to show the piece when I was finished. When I was finished, I had this adorable little sign for my spring tier tray. I think it is so adorable. Let me know what you think in the comments. I found these cardboard flags in my stash and knew they were perfect for an Easter-themed banner. I placed a thin layer of Mod Podge on the cardboard flag and then attached a piece of burlap, also from my stash, to each of the flags. I trimmed the excess fabric a little larger than the cardboard flag itself. I used hot glue and attached the excess fabric to the back. I used my Cricut and cut out a stencil for each flag. Once I had the vinyl on the fabric, I used a makeup sponge to apply green and orange paint to each of the carrots. I used an X-Acto knife and cut through the fabric where each of the holes were in the cardboard so I would be able to place them on some twine. I placed some painter's tape at the end of the twine to make it easier to push through. For the finishing touch, I added some little bows using a Dollar Tree ribbon and hot glued them to the top of each flag. And look at how sweet the banner turned out. Sometimes I even shock myself. I found this little ceramic bunny in my stash and someone had painted it silver. Cute, but just not my style. I first gave the bunny a coat of folk art terracotta paint and the color Adobe White. I used an old paintbrush for this so I could smush it down into the cracks and crevices to make sure all the silver was covered up. Once the terracotta paint was dry, I went over the bunny with a fan brush and white acrylic paint. And just look, I think it's 100 times better than the silver, and it looks so good on my tier tray. For this recreation, I painted a piece of Dollar Tree wood with 2 coats of white acrylic paint for a fresh look. I created this vinyl stencil in Design Space and attached it to the wood. I used a makeup sponge and dabbed orange acrylic paint across the words fresh carrots and the carrots themselves. And did the same thing with the carrot tops, but used green acrylic paint. I then used black for the other words. And then went back over the orange just to make it a little more vibrant. I removed the vinyl stencil to reveal this adorable tier tray sign. I wanted the sign to stand up independently, so I added a couple of Dollar Tree wood blocks to the back. When I add the blocks, I don't put them flush to the bottom. I came up just a tad so the sign wouldn't tip over. And just look at how sweet. For this project, I used my laser cutter and cut out 2 bunnies because I didn't have any Dollar Tree bunnies on hand. If you use a Dollar Tree bunny, you wouldn't have to glue 2 of them together. Since I used these, I glued the 2 together just to make it a little thicker. I painted the front and back of the bunny with 2 coats of white acrylic paint. On one side of the bunny, I used this Magnolia Design stencil and various colors of stencil paste to create a colorful bunny. I left the other side for a softer touch. And just look at how stinking cute the stencil side turned out. It's perfect for both spring and summer with these colors. Please take a second to like this video and leave me a comment. This really helps my channel to grow so others just like yourself can find me. If you just found me, I hope you will join our little family by hitting the subscribe button. If you are already part of the family, thank you so much for your love and support. Y'all are the absolute best. Check out my new Amazon store for craft supply and farmhouse home decor recommendations. All the products I use from Amazon in my videos can be found there. Until next time, happy crafting!